So if you haven't already, you should definitely check out my first 2 videos on how to optimize the golden mushroom. The links will be in the description, so just keep on giving her, bud. Honestly, there isn't anything quite like starting the video with the worst track in the game. On Yoshi's Circuit, if you begin goldening once you hit the first set of boxes, your golden will run out just in time for you to get a box at the next set. You can also begin goldening after you release your mini turbo from the second set, and you'll be able to cut off a ton of off-road and get a box at the next set. On paper, Excitebike Arena doesn't really provide much for the golden, but even so, you do have 2 places where the golden can be used to the best of its ability. Now, outside of alignment, the format of the track doesn't really affect this golden strat in particular, so all you need to do is begin goldening through the off-road shortcut before the second set and then remain in the off-road. And the golden will finish once you make it to the final quarter of the track. Now, this golden strat may be more straightforward in specific track formats like this one, just because you have an easy way to align yourself or get ready with the shortcut. But if you begin goldening once you reach the last quarter of the track, you'll be able to make it to the finish line while cutting off a ton of off-road in the process. Now, instead of getting an Ultra Mini Turbo on the first turn of Dragon Driftway, you want to release your Super Mini Turbo as soon as you get it. And then your cue to begin goldening is once your Super Mini Turbo runs out. You'll be able to take both off-road shortcuts and get a box at the next set. Now, alternatively, on the turn before the next set, you want to begin goldening after the boost from your Super Mini Turbo runs out. And it'll end right after you get out of the ending shortcut. Now, let's be honest, Mute City really isn't anything special. You just begin goldening at the shroom spot, and your golden will finish once you get through the ending shortcut. On Wario's Gold Mine, your cue to begin goldening is after the Super Mini Turbo you get on the final downhill runs out, and this will last until you reach the beginning downhill. And in the lap 3 situation, you want to begin goldening after your first mini turbo in the minecart section. Yeah, you can't really do much on SNES Rainbow Road, but at the very least, you can begin goldening after your Ultra Mini Turbo after the last set ends, and you'll still be able to finish before you reach the first set of boxes. Isis Outpost really isn't anything too special. You just want to begin goldening after you hit the spin boost on the yellow path, and you'll have just enough golden to get to the ending shortcut. Now, in Hyrule Circuit, you want to begin goldening in this patch of off-road. And not only will you be able to golden through a good chunk of off-road, but you'll also be able to charge up an Ultra Mini Turbo before the glider, which you should release after your golden is finished. Surprise, surprise! Baby Park sucks for goldens. But if it does mean anything, beginning your golden in either patch of off-road will allow you to use it for a lapsed length of time. So, woo! Yeehaw, bud! And now we have Cheeseland. So if your best situational option is to use your golden at the beginning of the lap, you want to begin goldening in the first set of off-road and stick to the off-road as you approach the cheese shortcut. Now from there, you'll have enough golden left to cut off even more off-road before the second set. And now for the big boy of the track. Now this shortcut's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a double glider cut. You make it through, you're giving her, yeehaw. But if you're in need of an item, you want to begin goldening when you're on the right side of the little cheese hole that you can trick off of. And you can get a box and cut off some extra off-road before the ending glider shortcut. Now on Wild Woods, your best bet is to begin goldening after your trick boost before the lily pads runs out. After this, you want to avoid the lily pads and then take the ending shortcut. And then your golden will end just before reaching the first set. Now, what I really like about the golden strat on Animal Crossing is that it works regardless of what season you're playing in. But in any case, you want to begin goldening when you reach the ending shortcut. Now, in order to optimize your golden usage to the best of its ability, your best bet is to stay to the right of the trees when you get there. You'll get a bit of a boost upwards once you're back on the main road, but as long as you're holding to the right, you should be fine. So on New Bowser City, the best golden strat begins as you're about to clear the S turn. Now from here, you'll be able to gold through both mini off-road shortcuts and save your mini turbo for when you reach the glider. You can also begin goldening once you hit the first set, and you can take the beginning mini shortcut and get a box at the next set. Now, the start of the golden strat on Ribbon Road can seem a little frightening, so it's not a terrible idea to begin goldening as soon as you hit the glider. But in the case of optimizing the golden to the best of its ability, you want to start goldening shortly after your trick boost runs out. And when you land on the first ramp of the shortcut, you want to begin a left drift so you don't give her too hard. From here, it's pretty simple. You just golden through the ending shortcut, and just like that, it's another day in the office there, bud. So Super Bell Subway has a ton of off-road shortcuts that you can use to your advantage if you have a golden. Once you reach the second off-road shortcut after the second set, that's your cue to be in goldening. Now from here, it's all about cutting off as much off-road as possible. So you don't have to worry about skipping the third set since your golden will end just before you approach the last set. So on section 1 of Big Blue, you want to begin goldening shortly after your trick boost ends. And after that, you want to cut through all 3 sets of off-road and get a super mini turbo off the glider. Now on section 3, start goldening once you leave the green path as shown here. And once you land, you may or may not have to take some tight drifts to the finish line because, as you can see here, like, it's a tough way to the finish line. So you might have some hard things to go through. You know, you might have to avoid the invisible Mecha Koopa wherever that is. Okay, I'm just rambling right now. So don't worry about it. You just drive forward and you win. That's it. That's literally it. And with that, all of the best golden strats in Mario Kart Deluxe have been covered. And if you haven't already, you should definitely check out my other 2 videos of optimizing the golden mushroom to the best of its ability. And if you liked what you saw today, you should definitely consider subscribing and turning notifications on. Now, I have something very exciting in the works for my next video, which I would say is definitely long overdue in this community. It's been tried before, but never fully executed, and I want to fully execute it this summer. I'll leave it there. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day, and keep on giving her, bud.